Republic-Times.net is bringing you 2 new products this spring. While you are browsing the daily scores and your favorite team's sports page, be sure to check out our new RT Savers coupon page. For this month only, we are giving you a buy 2, get 1 free coupon. Use it on the winter sports photos. Also new to the RT is the RT Classifieds Marketplace. Think Craigslist, but safer, more convenient, and right here in your hometown. Try it today for free. It's free to browse and buy, whether you're cleaning out your garage, selling goods out of your home or business, or an antiques enthusiast. The RT Classifieds Marketplace is just for you. I guess kind of let me know who you lost and who you have coming back and, what you have going on out in the field.
Well, last year we were a very young team. We lost our senior captain, Diana Mantilla, in goal, 4-year starter back there, and then we lost Megan Palmer, who was a starter again last year as a senior. Those were, I believe, our 2 main players that we lost from last year. So really rebuilding this year, it was just every year, everything that happened last year was just a rebuilding year for last year, which has propelled us to, I think, a lot of confidence coming into this season. So we are still a young team because we still start anywhere from 5 to 6 sophomores at a time, and then we have a couple juniors, a couple seniors that fill in as well. So losing those 2 players were critical, especially with Diana in goal. But this year coming in, we've had 2 nice goalkeepers as freshmen, Claire Foster and Allison Riddle, who both have really been competing well. I've never really had that here at this high school, so they can really compete. They have great work ethics, and they're really challenging each other. So we're letting them play it out to see who's going to get that starting spot.
Great. So what about the rest of the field? Who's in what position out there?
Coming back is our leaders this year, Jenna Vogt and Erica Verrill. And there are 2 of our 3 starting seniors along with Taylor Magasang. Taylor right now has been more of a forward and outside mid player, but then we have Erica, who's been one of our main stabilized leaders in the backfield. Jen has also been a striker and an outside mid player as well, and both of them have been growing as a leader this year. So it's really exciting to see how they've grown as all the way from their freshman year all the way through their senior year, how they've changed and matured over the years. So been really excited to see their progress there. Juniors, Claire Houseman stepped up this year now and played more of a defensive role as well as a midfield role. And then along with that, we've had Kristen Ryan and Rachel Bolsey in the center, who again filled in the role last year in the center mid position very well, and they've really taken that a step further this year. Rachel's coming into the season a little banged up with an ankle injury, but seems to be coming back with that. So I believe on the junior side that rounds that out, and then on the sophomore side, just have a whole host of players with Lauren Kempf. She's definitely blossomed from last year this year, just even quicker, more resilient as far as endurance goes, and her skills really improved, along with Lauren Tolan, who's been a main stabilizing factor in midfield last year and is taken charge even more so this year. We have Ashley Myers, who's been battling an injury. She had a high ankle sprain last year, found out it was more serious, had to have surgery in the summer, late summer, or actually early fall. So she's actually still in the men to come back, and then when she does come back, she really has another dynamic presence in the attacking formation. Rihanna Probst began developing getting more playing time at the end of the season last year as a very good athlete. She's really stepped up. Casey Wood was a solid defensive player last year as a freshman, has continued with that this year. And I believe Hannah Heller's now stepped into a defensive role as a sophomore and really, again, picked up on her knowledge of the game and skills. So really that kind of rounds out, I believe, our sophomores, and then, like I said, our goalkeepers, and then reserves that are coming in off the bench.
Great. You guys have actually had some games under your belt, unlike some other spring teams here. So what have you learned about the team so far?
This team, especially last night with the Triad game, which was, again, a very good opponent, especially on this side of the river, I found that this team's cohesiveness has really come together very quickly in this season. I think it's a stem from last year. Their work ethic is incredible, which is great. We've pushed them in the outdoor elements. They've been really good about getting themselves prepared to come into this season. I think the cohesiveness and working together is another element. It's just a fun team to be around. They work together well. They challenge each other. together, but the athleticism, I feel like, has even increased more so. Last year with all the injuries, I think the resiliency has come back to help us, because not only we were more resilient, but we were more adaptable, so people have had to learn other positions. So now I feel like it's more of a solid team.
Any particular strengths or traits that have kind of stuck out?
No, I think it's right now, if we stay healthy, I feel like it's a pretty balanced team right now. I feel like the offensive side has improved a lot from last year. I feel like our defense has actually improved as well. I feel like there's so much more confidence out there. I think that's the biggest thing that I've seen so far in the preseason up to this point here, and getting a few games under our belt. Like I said, the triad game here was a statement game for our girls. Even though we came out on losing in on PKs, we did not back down. It was back and forth, and that showed me that they weren't going to get pushed around. They were going to stand and work together and get through the diversity that was awaiting them.
Any goals that you might have, comparing last season to this season?
They definitely, the girls, and they make the goals right now. They want to get to the postseason and have much more success than they had last year. We felt like we underachieved when we got to sectional. They want to advance further than just get to the sectional game. They want to get past the sectional and be knocking on the door to make a trip up north. And we feel like as long as we stay healthy, that's a possibility. Now, granted, I know that Jabot is going to have a nice team. We have other schools we have to get through, so we can't look past them. And it's a rivalry between us and Jabot. And Alt Marquette's always a factor in there, and other schools, Freeburg down the road. So it'll be a fun test to see where we're at when we lie up against them, and compare to see what they've got coming in this year and so forth. So we want to continue to be county champs. We want to make sure that we beat our rivals here across down the street. So
great. Anything else you want to say about this team?
No, I tell you what, this is a fun team to be with, and it makes me continue to want to coach because of the athletes and the personalities I get to deal with every day. And so, when you have a team that works as hard as this team does, and they want to learn, they want to grow, it's a coach's dream to have that.
For more on this year's spring sports, pick up a copy of the March 20th Republic-Times Spring Sports Preview with team photos, stories, schedules, and more.